All right, so we are here with J.R. Obrecht, a mortgage lender with Homestead Financial. He's the preferred mortgage lender for St. Clair B&I Group. We've got a list of a few questions here from the audience. We took a poll, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right in and get some answers. Jerry, you want to lead off with anything, or?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to present in front of a group of people that I care a lot about and care what you think. So hope this answers some questions, and feel free to hit me after if I don't answer your question.
I love it. All right, number one, what is your favorite thing about being a mortgage banker?
So my favorite thing about being probably the amount of people that you get to meet. You know, for me, growing up in a small town, everybody knowing everybody, as I have come into more touch with more folks and deal with their homes and get to know them, then it makes it hard to go to Schnucks and not run into somebody on a Saturday that you don't know. And for me, being a mortgage banker and having the opportunity to meet so many folks, that's probably the most fun part, is making a bunch of friends.
I love it. So how did you actually get into mortgage banking? How did you end up stumbling into the industry?
I've always wanted to be a businessman. Always wanted to deal with people, deal with money of some sort. Sold cars for a while. Loved that. It just wasn't for me. Had the opportunity to go work for a small mortgage company there in O'Fallon, Fairview Heights, actually, now in O'Fallon. And I was dealing with money. I was dealing with households. I was everything that I thought I had, wanted to be in college. When I was in college, I didn't really know it. I knew I wanted to, maybe carry a briefcase, maybe deal with money, be important, be respected. And I don't know that mortgage banker does that, but it definitely fulfills me in the sense of accomplishing things for families that they just can't do on themselves, basically.
Perfect. So what's your dream job? If you were not doing home loans, what do you think you'd be doing?
Well, I do love what I do. I love it. The days go by quick. This would be a number two, because my number one would probably be I enjoy being in the outdoors. I love hunting, and probably doing some sort of a wounded warrior hunt, or any handicapped kids or disabled vets, stuff like that. Really get them dialed in, get them set up in a good spot to where they're going to get some action and have some fun, and be a part of that orchestration and kind of be there for the joy, the hunt itself.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I'd probably need a lottery to do that, because you need a lot of land and trail cams are expensive and all that other stuff.
Well, yeah, someone's got to pay the bills, right? What's the hardest situation that you have ever come across? What's something that you kind of ran into, you had to really work at?
So last year, and some of you may have heard this story before, but it's one that sticks. I had a client who told me that they had two mortgages, and daughter and son-in-law, grandkids lived across the street. They were all going to, they all lived together, ate together anyway, practically being neighbors. They were going to sell both homes and move into a larger home. They came to me to get pre-approved. She said, I have two mortgages, and I want to sell this one house, take the proceeds, buy this other home, this home that we're all going to live in. And while my, the mother-in-law quarters is being completed and rehabbed, then she was going to still live in her home and then work on selling it and then move in later. And so we did that, and it did look like she had two mortgages, but unfortunately one of those was a home equity loan. Okay. So when we went to close on property A on a Monday, which was where her kids lived, right? Her daughter and son-in-law and grandkids, they paid off a mortgage and a home equity loan that didn't show up on credit. So when she said she had two mortgages, she literally meant I have two first mortgages. She didn't realize that a home equity was considered a mortgage. Given that slight, differential in understanding of those two different terms, and essentially for everybody listening, a home equity loan is a mortgage, right? It's a second mortgage. So we closed on that first property. Instead of her gaining the proceeds to buy the other property that was closing on Friday, it paid off the other two mortgages, leaving her very little walking money. she really needed to sell her primary then in order to have the money to buy the property on Friday. So I pulled together some funds, borrowed from my 401k, and I bought her property in 4 days. She was still able to close on her property on Friday. And at that point in time, it was more about the reputation than the money. But I thought in the back of my head, there's no way that anybody's ever going to believe that when she said she had 2 mortgages, that I thought one of them was a home equity loan. So I really feel like I jumped on the grenade there. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. We had to do some rehab and stuff because Collinsville now requires occupancy inspections, and they're quite strict. So I wasn't prepared for that. So ended up costing me money, but making that family's dreams come true. You know, they all live together now under one roof, and it never would have happened if I wouldn't have done that. They had already, where they were dealing with somebody that had a backup offer, and if they didn't close on that, they were going to move forward with the backup offer. So that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I guess I'm just telling that story here too, because I also want my clients to know that I throw some skin in the game, you know, when I have to. So that's probably one of the hardest.
Yeah, man, that's terrific though. Just one, that you did it, but two, that you had the ability to take care of those people and get everything going. So why don't you tell us something about Homestead that we might not know?
Okay, so Homestead's been around for 23, 24 years. Okay, so the owners of Homestead still work in the business. There's a lot of owners of companies who hire managers and CFOs, and then they step away from the day-to-day works. You know, Greg, which was the sales manager when I first started, he's a big reason for my success. Him, Jason really handles the process of the whole company, make sure it runs smooth. And then Andros really helps manage the money and make sure that budgeting and auditing goes well. So all those guys I can call at any Monday through Friday, any day of the week, and get a hold of them. So I feel like that's unique. You know, we're like a big family. And I love that. You know, I love that I can always, you know, go to the top. If I'm not getting a quick enough answer, you can always go to one of them. And that's a pretty warm feeling knowing that you have them in your corner daily.
Yeah, that's awesome. So final question is a pull from the audience. So can you sing us the jingle?
No.
Come on, JR. It's the jingle that died like 10, 15 years ago. We just want to hear it. Go ahead and sing it.
Homestead Financial, for great mortgage rates, call 800-GRANNY8.
Perfect.
Yeah, brings back some memories. I used to answer the phone actually because we were Homestead Financial, and then we grew into other states, and we ran into another Homestead Financial that didn't like our commercials on their way. Go figure. And it was in Indiana. They Colts fan. Anyway, so we ended up having to go. We had the jingle out already, but we switched over to Granny 8. But oh, how I hated answering the phone. I would say, J.R. Obrecht, Granny 8, Homestead Financial. So, but yeah, I'm surprised you remember that. So
perfect. We could pull that back out. I mean, is there anything else you want to go ahead and let everybody know?
No, I think that's it. Appreciate you guys and appreciate all you've done. The thank you for closed business is about what that was this time last, or what was total for last year. So, you know, couldn't have done it without you guys. And, you know, I think I've been in B&I 5 or 6 years now, and it just keeps on getting better and better. So thank you very much.
Love it. Thanks for taking the time.
You too. Appreciate you.